वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. We have seen in some detail the background of this chapter 5. Why does Arjuna again ask the question, is it good to renounce karma or is it better to stay in karma, and so on? It was made clear by Sri Shankaracharya that the context at the beginning of this 5th chapter is a little different from the context before chapter 3. Over there was the consideration of only two camps. One who had a high degree of appreciation of self-knowledge, a very good amount of vairagya, and thus very qualified for sannyasa. And the second camp at that time was of those people who were not really well equipped, who had a lot of attachments to things of the world, and for them karma yoga was advised. In the beginning of the 5th chapter, we saw 7 paragraphs of Adi Shankara's introductory words, and I will quote only one sentence, which is the last sentence among those 7 paragraphs, just before the shloka begins. And that last sentence, not because it is the last sentence, but it happens to have an excellent summary of all that was discussed. The last sentence before the first shloka of the Gita proper begins, Jnana rahitasya karma jnana rahitasya sannyasa shreyan kim va karma yoga shreyan. That is the actual inner meaning of Arjuna's question. Jnana sahita, suppose somebody has a whole lot of what I have been calling deep appreciation, sincere appreciation. Every now and then one is able to think of how one is with pure awareness and not the body and so on. Such a person undoubtedly has to go for sannyas. But jnana rahitasya sannyasasya, that word jnana rahita makes a sea of difference. Somebody may have some attraction to sannyasa. Someone may be very eager to take sannyasa. But the question is, does she or does he have a steady flow of the thoughts of the pure self? If not, if the ego is still up and active, then it is jnana rahita sannyasa. Rahita means without. Without substantial amount of scriptural knowledge, and without, it goes without saying, substantial amount of vairagya. If somebody goes for sannyasa, then that person is in trouble. And the society also is in trouble because of that person. So leave aside the top category. Among those who are on the fence, who have a certain degree, not very high degree of philosophical appreciation, and a certain degree, not very high degree of, again, vairagya, they better stay in karma yoga. Jnana rahitasya sannyasah shreyan kim va karma yoga shreyan iti etayoho vishesha bubutsaya. Bubutsa means bodhum icha, wanting to know. Bubutsa means wanting to know. Bodha means knowledge, and bubutsa is desire for knowledge. Arjuna Vacha. We had seen the two verses, but quickly to go over them. In the very first verse of the fifth chapter, Arjuna says, Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogancha shansasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. Hey Krishna, I find you are praising sannyasa at times, leaving all karma and walking away to a pure contemplative life. And then you also have been praising Punar again, Yogam, Karma Yoga. Of course, that is practicing or performing karma without selfishness. Now, if you praise both these, I get confused. Yat Shreyaha, whatever is the best of the two, Tanme Brudi. And we had seen the Bhāshya where this matter was made clear. Eka Purusha Anushteyatva Asambhava. One cannot do both karma and karma sannyasa. So one of them needs to be specified, needs to be given as the prescription for Arjuna, and through Arjuna to a whole lot of us. Somebody wrote a book called The One. There's a book called The One. What is meant is you must do one thing at a time. And right in the introduction, that author of the book, The One, says, if you are chasing two rabbits at the same time, you want to catch this rabbit also and you want to catch that rabbit also, right? If you are chasing two rabbits at the same time, you will not catch either. You will not catch either at all. Both of them, both the rabbits will escape you. How simple and how true. Somebody is trying to be a sannyasi also and a karma yogi also. She will not succeed in either. Therefore, that whole book, The One, says in 100 ways how we should have clarity, what it is that we want to achieve, and do that one chosen item with all our heart. Here, if you are opting for seva, do it with all your heart. The right time will come where an inner voice, where outer guidance, both will be available for you to embrace sannyasa wholeheartedly. Likewise, in the second shloka, Sri Krishna therefore resolves this problem exactly as the background was given, as per Sri Shankara's commentary. That is, they go together. Of course, Gita was written and Shankara wrote later. Sri Krishna did not follow, I don't mean to say. Sri Krishna did as per Shankara Bhāshya. Shankara Bhāshya came much later. What I mean is, what Shankara says and how Sri Krishna advises are so much in alignment. The second sloka, which also we read, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Sannyāsaha Karma Yogascha Nishreyasakarau Ubhau. Ubhau means both. Both of them are wonderful. They lead to Nishreyasa, the supreme good. Which are the two? Sannyasaha, putting aside or leaving behind worldly duties. No duty anymore to the sannyasi, except study of Upanishads, contemplation, and maybe couple of selected upasanas, Omkara upasana. Other day I came to know that there is a relatively younger Swami in Tiruvannamalai. From 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., his daily routine is Omkara Upasana. He gets up at 3:30. He's a sannyasi, quite an orthodox sannyasi, quite a formal sannyasi, who has taken up a lot of rules, restrictions upon himself. And what he does is, after bath, 4 a.m., he starts. Goes on and on till about 7 a.m. No classes, nobody to meet him, no tea break, no coffee break. And after 7 a.m., he, I believe, offers some online classes also, and some people may meet him, and so on. So, that Omkara Upasana, is it also a certain form of karma? If he is a sannyasi, should he not leave it? No. This Vividisha sannyasis, in the present context, leaving aside the top category, when we go for level B or C, level B, they may take sannyas, they are not level A. Therefore, this level B, who are pretty good but not so good as level A, would do well to do some upasanas. And that Swami, near Sri Ramanashramam, knows that he needs some more integration, some more chitta shuddhi, some more vairagya, some more ekagrata. And therefore, though he teaches Upanishads, he teaches Brahma Sutra, he teaches Gita, and is quite a good scholar, he does 2.5 to 3 hours of Omkara Upasana. So that is allowed, but not the Agnihotra or some other Vedic rituals where the benefits, the results, the outcome, the fruits are more of material nature, not Chitta Shuddhi. They are probably for rains. Or as in Bangalore, there has been too much rains and waterlogging all over the city. Maybe you must do a karma for rains to get less and water to flow away. Otherwise, cars are not able to go on certain roads. In certain developments or neighborhoods, water is 2 feet, 3 feet high all over the campus. And expensive cars parked outside the houses are standing with so much water, and there may be damage to engines, we do not know. So, for rains or for rains to get reduced, for santana, somebody wants a child, for success in business, for good health of people, there are so many temporal benefits, and a wide range of Vedika karmas are available for that. So, the karma yogi does them, but no more for himself. He does some karma, some puja, some homa, some bhavana, or it can be secular work also. He is in a certain profession, and that profession is all about producing things that the society would benefit from. He may be in some industry, making soaps, making electronic equipment, making biomedical equipment. Please see, somebody is making biomedical equipment. There was a time when he was doing it purely for profit. He wanted to get rich. Now he does it for service because the biomedical equipment he makes so many hospitals, clinics, private practitioners perform better. and he has no more interest in the material benefits. Then he is a karma yogi, right? You are a teacher. Earlier it was all about career advancement. You were eyeing the post of principal and then maybe director of a larger body. You wanted to be famous, popular. That was sakama karma. Then you are not a karma yogi. Later, with certain inner growth, you teach at the school, at the college, at the university, just to help students, just to promote education in the society. Personally, you say, all I want is more vairagya, more love of God. That is karma yoga. Whereas Omkara Upasana or Panchakshari Upasana or some other, there are many upasanas given in the Vedas, some Chandrayana Upasana. So upasanas are accommodated in the level B, which is Vividisha Sannyasa. Vividisha is Veditum Icha. So this category B, who is permitted and encouraged to take sannyas, is not like category A with tremendous amount of clarity and great amount of vairagya. This guy or this lady has some vairagya and some scriptural knowledge, but not enough for going after Brahma Vidya with all exclusiveness or totally exclusively Brahma Vidya. So sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyasa karavudau tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. For a lot of people who are very tempted to take sannyasa, Sri Krishna says these words of caution. Don't take sannyasa and mess up your life. Rather, stay some more time in karma yoga. Now we take up the third shloka. We continue with the Mula, the original Bhagavad Gita. Let me read for you verse 3. Adi Shankara connects it saying, Tasmat iti aha. Why is karma yoga as good as karma sannyasa? How do you say karma yoga and karma sannyasa both lead to the highest good? Sri Krishna answers it saying, you need to understand more than the outer aspects, the inner essence of karma yoga, or for that matter, if you are so attracted to sannyasa, some people long to wear, they are so desirous of wearing orange robes, shaving their head, going around. They imagine, oh, I will be walking free on the earth. Oh, wait a minute. By wearing orange robes, by changing your name, by putting on a long japamala, by putting bhasma, the sacred ash, and maybe chandana, etc., etc., you do not become a sannyasi by just those things. Do not hastily dream that you would be transformed by just these externalities. The verse says, Jneyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Arjuna, Jneyaha. Jneyaha means such a person is to be known, to be regarded. Such a person is to be regarded as a sannyasi every moment, every day, everywhere. Nitya sannyasi. Who is that? Oh, you may say, oh, who has, taken sannyasa according to a proper ceremony, Vedoktaritya, Vidyuktaritya, Vidhi. There are some ways. Certain rituals are performed. Viraja Homa is done. Her name change, her dress change, and certain rules she has adopted. No, all that we respect. All that also has a place in the scheme of things. But the essence of sannyasa is yaha na dveshti. Yaha na dveshti, yaha na kankshati. Dvesha is hatred, dislike, violent thoughts, words, and actions which are aimed at hurting somebody, or you take pleasure in somebody coming to suffer because you have certain revenge, you have certain vendetta against that person. So if you yourself don't do anything to that person, somebody else does, you are happy. Good. She got the lesson of her life now. I'm glad. And so on. That is dvesha. You are unable to forgive. You are unable to forget. So, if you are unable to forgive somebody in your bosom, which is not necessarily connected with the idea of right and wrong, maybe what he did is wrong. But why do you all the time harbor negative emotion? Leave it to God. God is watching, God is seeing everything. If that person has done wrong, has been unfair to you, that person will receive the appropriate karma phala, have no doubt. But if you say, no, no, I want to do something, I will let him come before me, I will say this to him, I will say it on his face, and so on and so forth. Your mind goes into a rage. Then of what use is orange robes, of what use is shaving the head, of what use are other signs of sannyasa. It is said, if you are unable to forgive those who have been unkind to you are like a person tying to her or his waist a big heavy stone. Your movement will be hampered. You won't be able to get up or walk freely. A stone is tied, heavy stone, 22 kgs, is like in airports. Till you just go and give that bag to be checked in at the counter, 15 kgs. Your movement is restricted. Once you give 15 kgs in India, domestic travel, 15 kilos can be checked in. 7 kilos, 7 kilograms you carry on. And you suppose have a light carry-on bag, just 6 kilos or so. That also goes on your shoulder, hands are free. The check-in bag was actually 16 kilograms. And the person at the counter said no problem. Otherwise, as you know, some extra charges. That's all details. Once you have checked in and handed over the big bag, heavy bag, you are free. You move around, you go the escalator, go up the escalator, you go to the gate, or you spend some time at a bookshop, at a coffee shop, or just sit quietly and so relaxed, read a book, etc. So, if you are not forgiving, you are like the person who is burdened with the heavy check-in bag, right? It is said, once you let go, then you are free. Yona dveshti na kankshati. Once you appreciate how hatred binds you, it's not difficult for you to understand how desire for a large, nice house, desire for enjoying some particular pleasures, desire to be like somebody else who in your eyes is having a good time. I want to have a good time like she has. I want to have a good time like he has. Kankshati, Icha. So the pairs of opposites are repeatedly touched upon in the Gita. To hate something is one burden, to want something is another burden, neither hating nor wanting. If your mind is quiet, and how nice it is, that person, no matter he has taken sannyas formally or not taken, he is a sannyasi. Jneyasya nitya sannyasi. It is at such places that Bhagavad Gita is widely considered a book for all time. Because Bhagavad Gita takes us out of the shell of narrow definitions. Gita gives to us broader perspectives. Be free of likes and dislikes. Be free of laziness. Be free of negative tendencies. Then you are a sannyasi. You may be in yellow clothes, orange clothes, white clothes, red clothes, blue clothes, green clothes, checkered shirt, or some hat, some jean pants, doesn't matter. Externalities just do not matter. This is such a powerful verse. It's such a verse that uh, boosts your morale. Deyasya nitya sannyasi, yonadveshtina kankshati, nirdvandvaha. While vast majority of people go up and down, dvandva is pleasure and pain, day and night, going up in pleasure and then going down in pain. If you don't fall a victim to such pairs of opposites, nirdvandva, He Mahabaho, O Arjuna, O mighty armed one, such a person is truly liberated. Therefore, I say, Karma Yoga is better because wearing orange robes does not free you from likes and dislikes as Karma Yoga does. When you develop this skill, Yoga Karma Su Kaushalam, Kaushalam means skill. When you develop the skill of going through day's activities without likes and dislikes, it's a great inner evolution. O mighty armed Arjuna, if you do such karma yoga, you are already on the verge of realization. Bandhat pramuchyate. You will be liberated from your bondage. Shankara explains, Jneyaha means Jnatavyaha. One must know, or this has to be known. What? A karma yogi is a nitya sannyasi. Jneyaha Jnatavyaha sa karma yogi nitya sannyasi. How? Yo na dveshti kinchit na kankshati. Dukkam sukham va tat sadhanancha. Sometimes we want happiness, pleasure, enjoyment directly. Sometimes we have enjoyment in mind, for that we work hard. Sadhanam, like a student working hard at the time of examination. Why is she working so hard? She knows if I pass with very high score, then I'll get there, I'll get here. Then my life will be enjoyable. So one is planning to go to a movie and enjoy ice cream, that is direct approach. But one is working hard, so eventually one gets enjoyment. Either way, Sri Krishna says, one who is seeking enjoyment is both. Karmani vartamanaha. Though somebody may be engaged in karma, if you are not into wanting or hating, nitya sannyasi. Nirdvandvaha, dvandvavarjitaha, yasmat evam asti, mahabaho, sukham bandhat. Sukham means what? Anayasena. You don't have to go through the formal ways. Informally, sometimes without your knowing, you are really free of bondage. Don't go on visualizing. When will I be free? You are free already. Your mind is nirmala. Your mind is pure. And there is then a great verse. Many of these verses are so great and so powerful, so inspiring, so reassuring. You and I sometimes have moods of self-rejection. Oh, I am not okay. Oh, my life is not running all right. That's your notion. That's your confusion. Actually, if you are doing everything with no selfishness, you are already way high on the spiritual scale. No, but I have not taken sannyas. My cousin is a sannyasi and people are falling at his feet. He is sitting on a high platform and giving lectures. He has put all those Basma and Tilaka, and his picture came other day on newspaper. Don't be carried away by that propaganda. That is what they call in Hindi a tamasha. That tamasha goes on. Don't you be swayed by those externalities. You these days are working with no selfishness and you are already way high. And that person who is very popular in the town because he sits on a high platform and lot of people buy his books and whatnot may not be free from raga dvesha. Let's not judge him, but don't be too sure. Sankhya yoga pruthak balaha pravadanti na panditaha ekamapyastita samyak ubhayor vindate phalam. Connecting this, Shankara says, Sannyasa Karma Yogayoho, Bhinna Purusha Anushtayoho, Viruddhayoho Phaleyapi, Virodho Yuktaha, Natu Ubayoho, Dishreyasa Karattvameva iti Prapte Namuchyate. If Prapte, if you arrive at such a confusion, Prapte means you arrive, you come to a certain understanding. If you come to an understanding which is a misunderstanding, that no, how can you say both sannyas and karma yoga are equally good? They are opposed to each other. And their results, virodaha, phale api viroda. Their results also are opposed to each other. How can you say they are one? So clarification is made. Sri Krishna says very emphatically, Balaha in the shloka. Bala here literally means children, but its implication is immature people, raw people, people who are carried away by mere externalities. Balaha pravadan, they talk in their immaturity that those who have taken sannyasa and those who are in karma yoga are far apart. Sankhya yoga pruthak. A father may say about his two sons, my elder son is a sannyasi in such and such ashram, such and such mission. And now recently he brought out another book which is selling like hotcakes. The father may be proud of the older son who is a formal sannyasi and may look down at the younger son because of the immaturity of the father in this example, because he finds the younger son is always worried about running the house, making the two ends meet, ensuring that everybody has the meal on the table, ensuring and taking children and his parents also to a movie maybe on the weekend. Worldly. Oh, the father in his immaturity, in this example, many fathers could be mature, but in this example, when he thinks about the younger son, he thinks of the younger son standing in line for buying the cinema tickets. In the interval, runs and gets some biscuits, coffee, etc. for all, and says, "Isn't this good?" So the father thinks that my second son is very materialistic. The father does not know the second son, though living in the family at home, actually has undergone the inner change. He is doing all this absolutely for making family members happy. He even pretends to be enjoying the popcorn, enjoying the ice cream. He pretends to be really celebrating their vacation, long weekend vacation, somewhere they went, children, parents, husband and wife. He is showing that he is thoroughly enjoying, but the father does not know. The younger son in this example could be inwardly just remembering God and saying, "All this I am doing, Lord, on the surface for the happiness of my family members on a deeper level, for you to be happy. This is an offering to you. Lord God, I am offering these services to you, for I believe taking good care of people around me is an offering to you." The father may not recognize, and the father may not know at all the older son's limitations. Just to make the example complete, with due respect to all the swamis and sadhus and sannyasis, etc., in the world of different wisdom traditions, it's quite possible that the older son, yes, who released yet another book, and that book is selling well, could be having certain egoism. Maybe he and another Swami in that spiritual organization are at loggerheads. Maybe he and another Swami before their own circles of admirers criticizing each other. Then who is advanced? So do not just jump to a conclusion by the external signs. With due respect to certain traditions which play a certain role, not beyond that point, really what matters is, as the earlier verse said, Yona dveshti na kamshati. Yona dveshti na. When people like me go around, we sometimes find some householders are more self-controlled than we are. They are more dedicated. We get up, let us say, at 5 a.m. They have got up at 4 a.m. already, and they are setting up things. At 5 a.m. we get up and we are, if we have the habit, we like a cup of coffee, 5:30 they come and so. Then they have already taken bath, they are already, then they are ready to take us maybe to the railway station or to the airport. They drive us, and sometimes we sannyasis look at them and wonder, this person seems to be better spiritually than we are, and many other things. These householders, these married people, these parents of children, these people who are outwardly into buying and selling, and maybe, but we get signs of their love of God. Therefore, do not make judgments. Sankhya Yoga Pritak Bala Pravadanti na Pandita. If you see external signs, there seems to be a sea of difference between sannyasis and householders, sannyasis and karma yogis. But when there is an excellent karma yogi, he is no less than a good sannyasi. Ekamapi astitaha. Astitaha, devoted, anchored, dedicated to one, maybe just karma yoga, in a good way, samyak, with certain passion, certain intensity. Ubhayor vindate phalam. What a wonderful motivational word or sentence this is. Stay put. Don't be unnecessarily disturbed of how you are still bound to the house. Bondage is not outward, it's in the mind. When you have become a niswartha, selfless worker, though you are between the four walls of the house built by your grandfather, your grandfather built, your father lived there, now you are living with your spouse and children. Don't be immature to think, look, I am just stuck here. Getting stuck has nothing to do with new house or old house, new locality or old locality. Bala, immature people say, I am still in this small town. One of my brothers is in England, another is in America, and I am stuck in this small town. Getting stuck has nothing to do with whether you are in a village or in an affluent city. It is immaturity. Even some sannyasi may be worried. Many of my other colleagues have gone to various foreign countries. I am just here only. They use some improper words also. I am rotting here, etc. For heaven's sake, don't say you are rotting just because you are still maybe in a second level town. I am in Vijayawada. I am in Gwalior. And I haven't even traveled outside Andhra Pradesh, outside Madhya Pradesh. What are you talking? Your happiness, your spiritual growth has nothing to do with going round the world or staying in a small town. Balaha evam pravadan, na pandita. Those who are wise only take a look at the purity of their mind. So, if you are pure, then travel or no travel. Well known in the town or not known. Appreciated even in your own family or misunderstood. Does not matter. Inside you are pure. You are way high on the spiritual scale. Shankara explains Sankhya Yoga. He said Dvandva Samasa, Sankhyaschа, Yogascha. Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga. Sankhya means Jnana Yoga. And the word yoga sometimes by itself means Karma Yoga. Sankhya Yoga, Prathak, Viruddha Bhinna Phalam. They are separate, Prathak. They have different results, different benefits. So, in Ishavasya Upanishad, they talk about karma and upasana. They talk about the spiritual practices called sambhuti, asambhuti. And the Rishi of Ishavasya says they have different benefits. Ubhayo, such words come. There are two separate ones. But actually, if you go to the inner essence, a lot of your previous notions just disappear. Balaha pravadantina pandita. Pandita, what do wise people do? Panditas too, jnaninaha, they are the wise people, jnanis, ekam phalam aviruddham ichanti. The karma yogi who is evolved inwardly, arrives at the same destination as the Vividisha sannyasi, level B, who has externally taken sannyas. Let's say he is also doing his upasanas, and where he comes, same point. Katham, how ekamapi sankhya yogo samyak astita. What is important is do well whatever you are doing. God does not care for quantity, but it is quality that matters. God does not care whether you have become famous. He sees whether, unknown to other people, you have done something beautiful out of pure love. Samyak astita, anushthitavan, ubayo vindate phalam, ubayoho tadeva hi nishreyasam phalam, ataha na phale virodaha asti. There is a quick doubt here. The Purva Pakshi says, Nanu, Nanu is a word implying I have an objection. Sannyasa karma yoga shabdena prastutya sankhya yogayoho phalaikatvam katham iha aprakritam bhaviti. How come you talked about sannyasa, karma yoga and such words, though it is a shabdena, what is implied is shabdaihi. With these words, plural is implied. Words of sannyasa is this way, karma yoga is that. You created a division. Now you say there is no division. Katham phala ekatvam, and the Siddhanti answers, Naisha doshaha, Yeshaha na doshaha. It is not a fault. यद्यपि अर्जुनेन संन्यासं कर्मयोगं च केवलम् अभिप्रेत्य प्रश्नः कृतः, Arjuna had in mind those two extremes, and we continue to see a division. But Sri Krishna draws his attention to the situation with a large number of people where they are nowhere at that height of category A. So, Bhagavanstu tad aparityagena swa avipretancha vishesham sanyojya shabdantara vachyataya prativachanam dadau sankhya yogau iti. Bhagavan doesn't say there is no such category as A. There are minuscule number of people who are very advanced. For them, yes, they are cut above all. So without leaving that category, by keeping that aside, keeping that in its place, Bhagavan Sri Krishna clarified. What did he say? Tavevat sannyasa karma yoga jnana tadupaya samabuddhitvadi sayuktau. In Vividisha sannyasa, somebody is studying more and less of karma or hardly any karma. But in karma yoga, one is doing lot of karma, but the inside story is no selfishness. So one is marked by jnana, more time given to scriptural study. Fine. Another is tadupaya. This selfless work is a upaya, a means towards that same jnana. Samabuddhitvadi sayukta. Success or failure, the karma yogi maintains equanimity. And therefore, though they are called Sankhya and Yoga, they are in their result one and the same. Ataha na aprakrita prakrya. It is not out of context. It is very much in the context, throwing precious light upon the inner nature of things. With this, Sri Krishna is making important clarification. We will see how he says couple of shlokas more to emphasize our character, our conduct, our way of living. Do not wear some special dress and say my job is done. Your job primarily consists in living daily life alertly, vigilantly, with all due care. He will take it up in 5 and 6, and some words of caution are given here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.